It is Wednesday night again. This is the Wednesday night mouse party. And tonight we've got a special guest, Night Strike.
Hi,
How's it going?
it's going. I wouldn't say I'm a special guest. It's just I've been busy.
Well, it's more helmet and short bus special, but still
Well,
special to me.
hey, it's not my fault you had to ride the short bus. All right. If anyone's fault, I'd say it's Baron's fault.
Yeah. So I still have my little sniffle going on. So
You ain't the only one who has the sniffles. Let me tell you that.
yeah. But we shall soldier on. Out there earlier, there's not a lot of people out there tonight, but Kingpin was out there way early. And DJ Play Nice, Sergeant Joe Smith, Vulcan Rumble, and Ozzy Osbourne. Good evening. Good evening. I pinned at the top of the chat is a link for this week's poll, which we'll look at here in just a little bit.
Sergeant Joe says Smith is demanding a bracket.
Well, that's probably not going to happen.
Oh, we can do a fun one.
No, see my bracket. There's a leak. One of the seals leaked, and so it's in special containment because you don't want another 3 Mile Island, because that's what 3 Mile Island was a bracket leak. So.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the nuclear reactor leak.
And thank you, Vulcan Rumble, for reminding me to get my banner going. The mouse party one. There we go. At the bottom of the screen, there's an email address, untacticalfoss@gmail.com, and a link that'll get you somewhere. You can send in comments, suggestions, or pictures within reason. And if you watch this in replay, leave a comment, whatever we talk about. Agree with, disagree with. I read all of them, and they are all appreciated. While I'm thinking about it, coming up June 1st and 2nd.
Oh my.
Copy that. And I'll put it out in the link out there for video from Travis P11. For Thunder on the Prairie 2024. He has a video with Defense Dad, and they kind of discuss everything. But it's a good chance to get together and meet some of the other people you might talk to on the internets, and a chance to make videos with other YouTube people, or usually there'll be lots of different guns there that you can try out. And it's a Nebraska shooter outside of Lincoln, Nebraska, a little ways outside Lincoln, Nebraska. June 1st and 2nd, the first weekend in June. So if you're interested, it's a fun time, and there's usually lots of free stuff. So if you like free stuff and having a good time, think about coming out to Thunder on the Prairie. Gun Websites, how you doing?
Not too bad. Thanks for hosting. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's all right. Mike McLuhan and Gunmetal Guys out there.
What, are you still sick?
Yeah, I mean, I am a lot better. I'm kind of in the draining phase where, all that crud starts draining out of your nose. So it gives you kind of the sore throat. So I'm a little grumbly tonight. But I'll be all right.
Vulcan, he's not shot show sickness. Trump got. He got pneumonia.
Oh,
He's recovering from a pneumonia.
that's not good.
Yeah.
I would suggest not getting pneumonia.
Yeah.
I went back last week. We were talking about 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I went back and watched the Disney movie, and it is nowhere as good as the book. Of course, the book is a lot longer. And I mean, I remember liking it as a kid, but
Gotta
kind
be
of comparing it.
the 50s or 60s.
Yeah. Now, having listened to the book, it lost a little of its luster. I mean, it's still all right. The characters, of course, they have to condense it to fit it into a movie, and then they kind of changed the characters a little bit. But there's also one.
They changed the characters because when you condense it, sometimes it doesn't play out.
Yeah, I can't think of the name. The harpoonist, Ned. Kirk Douglas played Ned in the Disney movie, and he was a little more active than Ned in the book is, which it's all right. And then there was a 20,000 Leagues that was made in '97, I think, which I only made it about 5 minutes into it because it starred Richard Crenna.
It's not good.
No. And then the sidekick.
Isn't the one from you're talking about now the one that's just like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Or is that
No, that was 2001.
I thought that was such a great premise and done so poorly. I really wanted that to be a good movie because I liked the idea of it.
So you said one in the 90s though?
Yeah, it starred Richard Crenna,
Who's that?
I can't remember what he was.
What else has he done?
Let me see.
That's not the 18 guy.
No, he's not that cool.
Was this like a made-for-TV thing in the 90s, or was this a real movie?
I think it was a real movie. He played the Colonel in Rambo. Forget the name of him.
That guy was Nemo? I don't think I've seen that then.
No, he didn't play Nemo. He played the scientist, the biologist.
Oh. Well, then I still haven't seen it. So I guess you're saying it's not worth watching, though.
No, God, no. And the sidekick, his name starts with a C. Now I forget his name. Who was in the book? He's kind of a
Chumley,
something like that. But in the book, he was kind of a manservant. In the Disney one, they changed him into just kind of an assistant played by Peter Lorre. Who Peter Lorre is a really good actor. Peter Lorre did a radio show with kind of I think it was horror mystery-ish somewhere in there. I've listened to a couple of the shows years ago, but they were really, really good. But that's aside. But in the Richard Crenna version, they turned it into his niece, and as soon as they get on board ship, she sees Ned and then gets stars in her eyes, and then I just turned the movie off because I knew it was going to suck.
They did a mini series too in '97.
Maybe they condensed that miniseries. I don't know.
There was a different miniseries. It was done by. It had Michael Caine in it.
That's what I'm watching. Oh, it's the same one. Richard Crenna and Ben whatever, and then
no, this is a different one.
Oh, well, on my show, it's telling me that one. It says Michael Caine in.
Yeah, that's
But
the
this one,
miniseries.
yeah, this one is 2 parts. Oh, so I have a mislabeled one here. I'm going to watch this one now at some point.
The one you're looking for had Richard Crenna, Ben Cross, Paul Gross, Julie Cox, Michael Jason, and Jeff Hardy in it. Different one.
Oh, and the Disney one, Nemo was a little more,
Evil.
yeah, kind of the Earth Liberation Front ish. What's the jerks from Whale Wars?
Greenpeace?
No,
PETA?
the dude that broke off from Greenpeace because he wanted to be more militant, and then he got on Animal Planet, had a show.
Animal Liberation Front?
He's kind of in between that. Sea Shepherds. He started the Sea Shepherds, but he was Nemo in the Disney movie was more like that. In the book, he's just cruising around because he hates people, and there is a little bit of backstory which reading up I think is covered in the second book, The Mysterious Island, which I want to listen to, but it's like 10 hours, and for when I'm listening at work, I like them to be about 8 hours so I can listen to it in two shots. Otherwise, you kind of get lost in what already had happened.
Right.
But in the book, he just travels around because he doesn't want to associate with people anymore. And then there is one country which is never named, which he will attack their ships, but everything else is, you leave him alone. He does his own thing.
It's not too smart to attack ships these days. You know why? Because those attacking ships out in the Middle East are getting bombed for it.
Yeah.
People are pushing back.
Yeah, and I
Hardly ever attack ships anymore.
I'm halfway through the Glock book, The Rise of the American Gun, or I forget the title.
Audio or reading it?
Audio. Listen to it at work. I'll finish it on Friday. It's good. There's a lot of information, a lot of stuff that I didn't know. Some of it's kind of, but it's, I don't know. It is interesting, and the history Glock must have given them access to all their records, because he talks about looking at their financial history.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's on the whole.
I don't know if you got to the part where they've been sued, but they've been sued, so there might be parts that are like public record at this point or something.
That could be. I'm kind of in there. I'm just past the SHOT Show and the strippers, and then the lot they talked about the lawsuits. That's kind of about where I stopped, about halfway ish.
Oh, you were just getting to the fun part.
Have you read that book, Night Strike?
No. I'm just making a joke.
It's definitely worth checking out.
It's about Glock, but it's really about guns in the United States, and kind of since the 90s, I suppose, since the Glock's been around, but really gets into way more than just the Glock for sure.
So let's go over and take a look at the poll. This week's poll, like I said, it pinned at the top of the chat. So if you haven't voted in the poll, head over there and vote. Oh, now I got to find.
Hold on, let me get my 10 accounts.
So this week was, which type of worker are you? Working 9 to 5, trying to make a living, working for the weekend, I'm on vacation every single day because I love my occupation. Works hard for the money or wasting away in Margaritaville. And works hard for the money ticket with 46%. Working 9 to 5, 20%. Wasting away in Margaritaville, 16%. Working for the weekend, 12%. And I'm on vacation every single day, 7%. And looking at the comments, Karen Woodson's said self-employed means working 24/7. Caucasian Sasquatch, I had to quit all that work stuff. It was just to know. Tim Allen, I voted works hard for the money. However, I'm currently unemployed and looking for a job, but nobody has hired me yet. I'm beginning to feel like I'm being discriminated against because of my age.
Most likely.
Krabby Turtle, that I like building. That's the I'm on vacation every single day. He's in that video for that song. Vanessa Kitty said retired. DJ Play Nice looking for my Lost Acre Schalt. This stuff is bland. And then a bunch of hashtags. Kingpin said we aren't commies, so I don't use workers. And I replied, fair enough, comrade. So thank you to everybody that voted in the poll. And again, if you haven't voted, go over there and vote. All right. Stop that screen share. Vulcan Rumble suggesting that suction to clear the congestion. And Mike McLuhan saying neti pot. I don't know.
That's that thing that goes into your nose, right?
Yeah. I've never tried one. I don't know.
It's just a teapot that you make a bunch of hot water and then you just pour into your nose instead of a teapot or instead of a teacup.
Yeah, they've got that one that has the suction, so it'll shoot water up one side and then suck it out the other side.
Nice. And if you use boba tea in there, then that'll knock some of the stuff out of it physically.
Ozzy Orsborn said rum is the reason pilots never ruled the world.
I don't think that's right.
Well, rum is the reason that we had money to make a country.
I thought France was the reason we had the money to make the country.
Well,
He's talking about the tax.
Well, I thought it was all that tea that disappeared,
No, the first tax.
Oh, the first time.
What was it? The
stamp tax.
Is that what it was called?
Because
He doesn't know.
well, I can't remember if the stamp tax was the tax
It
on
was
the
part of the intolerable
paper?
acts.
Because there was the tax on paper.
I just thought it had a name. I don't remember what it was, but I thought it had like a name. But I don't remember. But anyway, I thought that was the first. What you're talking about is the first tax. That's why we had to create an army, right? So that they can enforce the tax or whatever.
Yeah, it was the stamp tax. It was tax on documents and stuff. Yeah, and we didn't like it. In the book Redcoats and Rebels, there's two books. One's called Redcoats and Rebels, and one's Rebels and Redcoats. And I get the titles mixed up. I think it's Redcoats and Rebels is the one that I read, and it's a view looking at the British side, looking at letters and communications, and the British didn't understand why we were upset because our taxes were so much lower than their taxes. And then the other book,
because we had so much less than they had.
Rebels and Redcoats, is does the same thing but looks at it from our side. But it's a real good read, looking at how the British mismanaged the war. There were a couple times where they could have crushed the Continental Army, but the infighting among generals and kind of screwed things up for them.
So you're saying we won because of British incompetence.
Kind
It
of,
lent-
yeah.
It lent to it for sure. They had also spent. I was listening to a thing one time about boats. They found some boat somewhere, and they were talking about this in the thing. I can't remember. It was some kind of boat from a long time ago with sails and all that. But they mentioned in that thing that for 400 years or something, this one kind of boat was like ruled the world. And when you think about that, 400 years, how many generations is that? So for a whole shit ton of time, people thought that boat was like, I don't know, like whatever we call the SR-71 or something, like, like the ultimate of technology, because, they're walking around with any kind of.
Was it when they switched from the triangular sails to the square sails?
It might have been. I don't remember. I remember though that they were saying that, like, essentially this boat was we were parked in this technology of this boat because it could get across the oceans and it got it had all this, the room to ship stuff. So anyway, it's just that they were saying it was actually, they were talking about the Marines essentially that guarded these boats and their techniques. If you would have asked generations of dudes, what do you do? I do this because my grandfather did it and I'm going to do it and my kid's going to do it. And that's the way the world was back then.
Yeah.
But today we'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, none of that's even going to, maybe some theories going to apply today or some morals or something. But, any of the techniques are so fucking old. So it's just things change. That's all I'm getting at is that, what seems like this will never change from this changes at some point when, just big things change. Technology changes in a big way or whatever.
I've been watching Hannah Gutierrez trial. She was the armorer on the Rust movie, the one that Alec Baldwin
She's on trial.
Yeah,
For not having a secure enough scene. Situation correctly.
It's
I'm just trying to pin something on everybody.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, her role is that she didn't have the correct safety and whatever, running the scene the right way.
Well, she loaded the gun that wasn't supposed to have live ammunition. And her lawyer is terrible. I mean, she's screwed. I guess she had a okay lawyer and fired him for some reason. I don't know. I kind of missed the first day. And then the lawyer that she has now he's not very good. So she's kind of in trouble. But it's been interesting to watch. The prosecutor is really good. And I mean, if she's convicted,
the wrong person.
If she's convicted, she'll get 18 months maximum. Same with Baldwin. If Baldwin gets convicted, it's a maximum of 18 months. But he'll probably have better lawyers.
Nah.
I don't know. I was thinking about for an overnight topic, kind of talking about something about not that case specifically, but stuff that gets tried in the I just lost the term.
Like public eye.
Yeah. Because I've been watching for a while. Been watching a lot of like depositions and officer trial that are on trial for different stuff. But I don't know because that's a little more outside of the 2A-ish kind of stuff that I don't always stick to, but try to.
Well, it's
Yeah.
adjacent for sure because those conversations either normalize or the lack of conversations allow them to marginalize gun ownership, guns in general. If they only see extreme examples and, the craziest of situations, then
Yeah.
why would they even be challenged to know that that's an extreme? They just think that's the norm potentially. So I think there's some, like I say, it's adjacent to 2A, if not on those things with the circles, they might overlap a little bit even. Public perception, if we aren't aware of that, at least in control of it ideally, then we're susceptible to it 100%.
Oh, well, I'll have to put a little more thought into it and see how to shape that conversation. And if anybody out there, if there's topics that you would like to see covered, send me an email. Let me know. I'm always open for suggestions. Makes my job a lot easier. Oh. This year is a leap year, so for some of you, it's already the 29th. But there's an extra day this month.
You know anybody born on the 29th?
No.
That would be pretty awesome. If I could pick a day, that would be the day I'd want to be picked, because then you'd only be 16 when you're 60 or whatever it turns out to.
But the problem is, because of that, you still wouldn't be old enough to drink.
Yeah, but people wouldn't card you after about 40, so you'd be able to start drinking when you're 13. Or you get married when you're 13 or something, so your wife could buy you the stuff.
Oh, that's the main plot theme in Pirates of Penzance.
Really?
Yep. One of the pirates was
musical, or is it just a stage thing?
Music.
It's a musical.
I've seen it.
But, I mean, it's a stage musical, right? It's not a movie.
Yeah, one of the pirates is born on a leap year, so his contract, he's only forget how old he is because of the leap years, they say. So he thinks he's old enough to end his contract, but since it was a leap year, he's 4. Ozzy Osbourne saying he just found out Illinois is the newest state to ban Trump from the ballot.
Are you really surprised in that?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like such a weird situation to be creating.
Well, it's election interference is what it is.
Well, do you think in the states that banned him, does he still have enough pull to can he be on a write-in?
That's what's going to happen. I mean, I can't imagine anybody on the other side that's like, oh, good, that's fair. I mean, I guess there's going to be the extremists that are like, haha, by removing the opposition, we've won, but regular people are going to be like, well, that doesn't seem right. Right? I think it's going to make more people than, people that are in the middle are going to be like, well, that's unfair to him. And people that are on the other side are potentially going to go, what the hell? I don't want to be on the side that cheats. I don't get this at all. It's this whole fascist type of shit. I don't.
Because he's winning all the caucuses. He's trashing Nikki Haley.
Yeah. By the way, she didn't win South Carolina. By the way,
what's that?
She didn't win South Carolina. By the way,
how many? I haven't even been paying attention to any of this. How many? These are primaries. There's primaries already happening.
Yeah.
How many primaries? Where's the numbers at? Then who's winning? Is there a place to look?
I don't know.
I used to watch political turns. People that I was in chats with would have political conversations, I guess, normally. I haven't really watched any of that stuff, so I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know how many primaries are left, but there's just a few.
I don't think we've had them in Arizona yet, have we?
I think Arizona's March 19th.
I'm assuming it hasn't, because otherwise I'd see signs everywhere and we'd get something in the mail or whatever.
Yep, March 19th.
Thanks.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a while for primaries. It's going to be an interesting year.
You going to be traveling at all this year?
No.
So Trump has 122 delegates. Nikki Haley has 24. DeSantis 9. Ramaswamy 3.
Well, he quit already, right?
Yeah, he endorsed Trump.
On his way out.
Yeah,
But the guy from Florida is still in it? He's just getting
No.
trumped?
I don't think he is because he's grayed out on this.
Oh, okay. That was what he was in an ad or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, all the people that dropped out were still on the ballot in South Carolina.
That'll happen, though, because they already printed it probably, right?
Uh-huh.
our primary is the 12th, March 12th, which I believe Trump is on the ballot here. They tried to keep him off, and then I know there's a judge that said you can't take him off.
Right. And those that do are playing a dangerous game of election interference.
Oh, it's going to be interesting.
He's loud.
You talking about this dude?
Yeah, I'm talking about that dude. Yeah.
He went out peeing earlier, peeing and everything, so he's super exhausted from a lot of peeing.
Is he part European?
So if you're born in, how does this go? If you're born in the United States, but you take an international flight from here to Europe, before you land, right? You exactly halfway. So wherever the exact middle of the Atlantic Ocean is, or the trip at least, or whatever, in the exact halfway, you go into the bathroom. What country are you in? Or wait, what country are you from at that point? That's how it works. I think. I'm pretty bad at that joke.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, well, that's when you become European.
Hillbilly Up is out there. Good evening. Yeah, I was looking at the Democrat primaries, and Biden's pretty much Biden. He has 206, and then just says other candidates 2 delegates, but doesn't even name anybody.
Yeah. Well, that's probably because of write-ins or something, right? Like things that aren't
Could
Biden, 2%. And there's
Right.
probably a zillion other
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's
I don't
gonna
know
be for sure.
if it's Biden Trump again. Does Biden win again?
I don't think he's got the pull to pull off the whole, cute old grandpa that may be, mentally challenged. I don't think that'll work for him again. He's got to have something else in order to win this time. Because people are pissed off. lots of people are pissed off.
Yeah, I don't know. Just don't know.
It's going to be an interesting one for sure.
It really depends on how many people the left have continued to brainwash, really.
I think if it's true that Trump convinced the Republicans not to vote for the border bill, I think that was a mistake because he wanted to run on it.
Well, Mitch McConnell stepped down.
Since that's
Yeah,
such a
we're done.
simplistic black and white summary of it, that's why I don't accept that as all. That might be a way to summarize it, but that might be an accurate way to summarize it, but that doesn't mean that's the reason the decisions are blah blah blah. Plus, there's nothing about the Republicans who've given us some of the worst gun control in forever, in decades. You know what I'm saying?
They got nothing back, but they gave away some of the worst gun control ever.
Well, yeah, they had nothing. There's no reason to even do it. There was no reason to do it. They didn't have to do it. They did it because they thought they could, or I don't know why they did it, but whatever. I don't trust them an inch. So, whatever. I'm just saying I don't have any reason to trust the messenger on that one. But when has there been an election where it's like, oh, this is going to be a nice, easy election, or no big deal? Like, oh, this is just your typical election.
I don't
Reagan?
think there's ever been one like that.
Yeah, maybe the second Reagan, where it was sort of like, oh yeah, pretty much Reagan, no brainer. Nobody else is going to do whatever. But that was a long time ago. That was a generation ago. And those are people that were born and experienced, the people that lived through World War II and people that understood the significance of living through World War II. And then we've had a lot of generations of people that essentially just knew Cold War or nothing. And then you now have people that literally are 3 generations into the global war on terror, who've had, entire careers, potentially a whole bunch of people with entire careers in military service. So, we don't have the World War aspect of it, but we certainly have that like understanding of what real chaos is and what the rest of the world is like, and not like some dumbass pictorial view of what the rest of the world is like. So I think we have a pretty interesting, like you say, there's people that are fed up, but I don't agree with that. There's only people brainwashed. There's people brainwashed on both sides. So you got to take them out of the equation. That's 10% or 20% or whatever the number is. Take them off. Maybe one of them's a little bit more than the other one this year, but they're always there. It's the people that see that we only have 2 options here, and how they balance out their character, whatever their list of parameters, their balancing act. That's what it always comes down to, really. So the people that want to black and white it, I immediately take them off the table. I don't listen to them. They're either simplistic, they're naive, or they're trying to sum it up for some reason, or they're not just interested in it. So it'll be the people that dive into the those nuances and where those discussions are able to get. I don't know. At the same time, we've been able to have better discussions than ever. We've also got more people trying to stop that from happening than ever before.
Yeah, like YouTube.
Well, like everything, right? Like it doesn't matter the platform, because everybody got together at a public park and had conversations. Somebody would figure that out and decide, oh, if I go in there with a boombox and play it real loud, people will go somewhere else. There's always something somebody can do to throw a rock. So we've got really, really good places to do stuff. We've had time on the clock, so we understand how to communicate. When they push us from one place to another, we know how to communicate now. Like it's like a minor inconvenience when they tell everybody to move. People they figured out that when they tell people to move, they just go move somewhere where they're not able to listen. So they don't have that same incentive, but it is going to be weird. I mean, it's going to be an interesting one, but I don't think we'll be as manipulatable, if that's the right way to say it.
Wow.
As it is in prior years, because
Boss, you have pushed Joe to the breaking point. Look at that.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's on strike until he gets a bracket. He's like, I refuse to watch mouse streams until I get higher wages, more benefits, better working conditions, and brackets.
Free brackets for everyone. There's no reason that only the elites get brackets. They're whim, and the rest of us only get bracket crumbs and broken pieces of bracket.
I might have to send in the
G-Rabs only sent me half a bracket one time.
That's all they could afford.
You know?
I'll send in the strike breakers to crack some skulls down there. Is that what I'm going to have to do? Yeah, no, there won't be a bracket.
Now, here's the thing. I really like the delicate brackets with all the fine work. So, unless you get a really small robot, I don't care what happens, but that fine work still has to be getting done.
I'm not into the filigree brackets. They're too busy for my taste. I was thinking maybe Sunday doing a bracket chat.
This will be a free bracket that everyone can participate in.
Yep. I am a river unto the people. It'll be free. It's not for sure, but I was thinking maybe like 8:00 Pacific ish. I don't know what. I was trying to think of. I was thinking classic cars, but I don't know. Is that because there's topics which brackets which I would love to do, but probably not a lot of other people. Like a kaiju bracket. I would love to do a kaiju bracket, but I don't think there's enough people out there into Japanese monster movies.
Gojira! That's the Japanese version of Godzilla.
Yes, I know. I have it.
Only do a kaiju bracket.
Jason Ghost is out there. Good evening. I don't know. So if the bracket was to happen, what do you think about like a classic car? Like Camaro, Nova, El Camino.
Well, El Camino wins for me, but I'll be all right with it, I guess.
So we'll say maybe. We'll pencil it in for Sunday at 8 p.m. Pacific. Excuse me. DJ, you out prowling?
Well, I heard, I like tuned in just a couple of seconds ago, and I heard Nice Drake say Gojira. So I'm just like, all right. So I put on my Gene Simmons face and decided to jump in. I hope all y'all are having a good night.
Okay.
What have you been up to there, DJ?
Today, I've had the guitar in my hands more than a few hours. That's kind of the thing that was the highlight, that and running around doing stuff. So kind of like an average sort of day.
I had thought about playing, and then I took a nap instead.
Hey, man, a nap is considerably more important when you can make time for guitar later, because naps are much more necessary. But I just broke into the conversation literally because I heard him saying Godzilla, so I was just like, I'm going to see what's going on. So what did I interrupt?
Yes.
Well, I was just saying that I would love to do a kaiju bracket, but I don't know if there's enough people that are into it to do one.
I would do it. I'd like to do it. I would do it from either side of the bracket. And I just finished up that series you told me about. It's like the newest Godzilla thing. It was like on Apple Network or whatever.
Probably the one that G-Webs was talking about.
Oh, okay. I wish I could remember the name of the program right now. It eludes me. But that was good. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it. I don't have Apple TV.
I got you.
Do I?
Sorry, I was listening to something else. I had to pay a bill. What were you talking about?
What's
New
the
Godzilla thing.
Godzilla on Apple TV? What was that show?
Godzilla Zero? Or no, Monarch?
Monarch.
That's it. Monarch. I did pull it up.
It's okay.
Yeah. DJ was saying he was been watching it.
Have you seen all of it yet?
Yeah, all the first season, and that's all there is right now.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I mean, it started out like, and then you start seeing Godzilla. It's like, okay, you start seeing Godzilla for free. I'll watch that. It's like little Godzilla movies. And Godzilla's in it. For a long time, it was just a bunch of drama, which is kind of neat. But it's not Godzilla.
Well, I guess the reason I might have thought that it was a Foss recommendation was that it's starting to build Godzilla as a sympathetic character instead of the absolute horror and terror kind of thing. So at some point, I hope you're able to see it, Foss, because I think you really dig it. But yeah, Kaiju bracket would be
well,
sweet.
That's what Godzilla was, a reaction to nuclear war. And he was
Mhm.
the whole reason to make the movie was to build back the Japanese confidence. He gave him something to rally around. Not, because in the first movie he's a bad guy and they fight him. And then from there he turns good and so I think he's still bad when he fights King Kong, because King Kong's the good guy. But then slowly turns into the good guy that still trashes Tokyo, but is fighting the bad monsters.
And then there's, Mechagodzilla.
Gosh.
There's Mothra. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there used to be websites where I haven't poked around in a while, but with sound clips so you could hear what all the kaijus, their different yells sound like.
Oh yeah,
Probably Kaijupedia.
I don't remember because this was from 15 years ago or more. Yeah, because my text alert is Mothra. It used to be Godzilla, but it was a little too much, so I switched it to Mothra. But now I don't ever turn my ringer on anymore, so it's been on vibrate for like a year. What were you saying, DJ?
that I like Gamera. I don't know what that sound file would be for him, what his signature is. Do you remember?
I think he's kind of a roar ish.
I just can't imagine. I'll look it up later. But have you ever hosted a bracket of future bracket topics?
No.
Nice.
Game within a game. And that way it sets it up for the future. Never have to sweat what they are, and you can always interject whatever it is that you want along the way because you're in charge. I don't know if there's a proposition for you.
You're propositioning me?
Live, baby.
Here's Gamera.
Okay, yeah. All right. I love it. Thanks for playing that, man.
He's friend to all children.
There's also Gigan. Remember that one?
What's that?
Gigan, the sun kaiju.
Yeah. The because there was Megalon and Gigan. Those two movies. I can't remember which one came first, but then the second movie borrowed footage from the first movie because it was so low budget. But
that's how low budget films work.
But it's probably one of my favorite Godzilla movies, anyways.
Yeah. It's not a Godzilla movie unless they steal footage from another Godzilla movie.
Yeah, I watched a YouTube video on the. There's a guy that he'll do break down the different Godzilla movies and talk about stuff like that. He does a pretty good job. I don't remember what channel he is. Sergeant Joe Smith, I do appreciate your suggestions. Yeah, I have always loved the kaiju, the Godzilla and stuff. Yeah, like Pacific Rim. That's one which I wanted to like, but I just thought the movie sucked.
I could like that premise better than big hollow earth that King Kongs live in.
I mean, the
Yeah.
premise would have been better if they had a giant robot that transformed from smaller giant robots, like Voltron. Then it might have been cooler.
Well,
Well,
just
like
the
movies where they're like, let's go in the middle of the ocean and stand up knee deep and have a fight, and then when we need to, we'll plummet into the depths of the ocean and sink, and then also just be standing next to a boat, knee deep in the water. Like there's just this imaginary thing that they stand on all the time. They never have reality in their,
yeah.
So at the closeout of the 10th episode and wishing for another season to have already been launched, and I just didn't know about it or it had been released and it was in the pocket, I looked for other suggestions and I found the animated series from the late 70s. And so I bookmarked that. I think I'm going to go grab some of those too. Because I can't imagine I can't hear in my head right now what those sound effects were, but I absolutely know it's going to put a smile on my face.
I did watch that as a kid.
I don't think I
I'm-
liked it.
I'm
but
old
yeah,
enough.
to watch it.
Not a fan of Godzuki.
No, not at all.
Facts.
But,
It was-
he's kind of like Scrappy Doo.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
comic relief character, unnecessary. Let's have more, battle action going on with Godzilla. Sorry, G.
That's what I was just gonna say. It was just a kids show. I don't need to see Godzilla kids show. Even back then, I was like, I'm only watching this because it's Godzilla, but I didn't like it. I
Yeah.
never went back and watched it again or anything.
I didn't
Yeah,
even-
I don't know how many seasons it ran, but I remember watching like when it was first introduced. But I was on my way out of cartoons, so it was more like sitting next to my little brother. Like it was
Yeah,
more a
exactly.
Saturday morning thing, more for him at
I was
that transition kind of thing. Yeah.
And there's no way I was gonna stop everything and watch a baby version of Godzilla. Like, no. I'd rather if it was like a cool anime or whatever would have been called back then.
It was
like
awesome.
kind of violent, cool one with airplanes and like, some kind of story with the people, but mostly about Godzilla doing stuff. Yeah, okay, fine. But it was like, Scooby Doo, like you said, it was just like a kid's show.
My neighbor George, who was my best friend at the time, he had the Godzilla Shogun Warrior. He had like 2 or 3 of them.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I knew a kid that had them and a Godzilla. Was there a third
Me
thing?
too. Envy, seriously envy for that green thing.
I mean,
No?
I'm gonna mention this, but only because it was the 90s. Remember the 90s Godzilla?
Yeah, with what's his face? I like that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, with Matthew Broderick, and then they had the.
It's a dumb one, but I like it.
Well, I liked it because they tried to pull off the French as competent.
There were parts of it I liked. Him I did like, but I did not like the Godzilla. They made him more iguana.
No, I didn't like it either.
I had a friend that actually worked on that. The special effects, he worked in special effects. I can't remember who he worked for at the time, but the movie was so far behind that they hired his company to help out with the special effects. And the reason it's raining through most of the film is to hide the mistakes in the special effects, the VR, because they didn't have time to fix everything. So they just made it rain so you couldn't see some of the flaws.
That's kind of cool. I figured that was actually more difficult to have all the rain. So I thought it was like, wow, what a feat! They like did all this and then also were able to add rain to it.
Yeah, his name's in the credit. You know, the big block of the people at the end where you can't read anybody because it's so small. He's in there.
Mm.
Have you seen the new Batman? What is it called? The Batman?
I didn't even know there was a new Batman coming. I don't get invited to Matt's
Madison?
chats no more, so I don't know nothing about nerd stuff, hardly.
Well, that's because Matt's got a thing on Discord where basically all you got to do is check the channel for the link.
Yeah, but I don't go to Discord, so I used to just
That's
look at.
because you're weird.
I just don't like Discord. Very violent and angry over there. It's like going to Reddit.
I don't go to Reddit.
Every once in a while,
Reddit is
I have to go
definitely
look something up. I'd rather ask Night Strike, hey, is this on Reddit somewhere?
Yes, it most likely is.
Undoubtedly.
I liked it. It wasn't great, but it was good.
Wait, what are you talking about?
The Batman. The Batman.
Oh, wait, you're talking about one that's already out or the one that
Yeah.
Billy's talking about that's on the way?
No, the one that was already. I thought we were talking about the one that was already out.
Oh, no. He's talking about a new one that's coming.
Oh.
There's no
I thought,
Oh, I see.
I thought this
I-
last one was pretty good.
Oh, that last one was all moody. Nah, I don't
Yeah.
like the like emo Batman. Everybody liked it, but I didn't. I've watched it like 3 times because Matt won't shut up about how great it is since it's his favorite movie.
I didn't think it was great. I liked it. The Riddler.
I mean, I'm okay with them changing up the
Oh, come
style
on.
and stuff, but I don't have to like every one of them. You know? Like, I don't like any Batmans, honestly. I'd rather watch Spider-Man or something else because Batman, I don't really like any of them. But I don't know if it was the
You know,
worst.
including the first one, which is the one that draws the most rotten fruit, pelts it at it sort of deal. It sort of mimics the comics experience for me. And I didn't read Batman. I'm not a DC Universe guy. I don't want to get into any of that. But I just kind of wanted to draw the parallel between the films and the way you do read a comic book series. You run into different artists, different writers. There's a stylistic change. Everything, gets tossed over every couple of years, and you have to have crossovers and whatnot. So each one, the changes in actors playing Batman and whatnot, it hasn't bothered me that much. And I'm not beholden to the original. I was just listening to a chat a couple of days ago where they were having an argument about which one was the most valid. I just think that's like why spend your time trying to figure out which Batman's the best one?
Yeah, 100%. That's where I'm at. I could care less what they do with them. I don't love any of them. Some of them I don't like, but yeah, exactly. It's neat to watch them. It's just like the comics. I wish they would do more 3 movies in a row, because if you do like one, I'd rather see more than just one than a new one each time. I guess they've done that a little bit with DC. But the thing is, with Batman, I like
they did
the
that with the Dark
Batman.
Knight movies.
Yeah, they have. I guess I should shut up. They do have to do that. They have done that a couple of times. I like the animated ones though. Like, I'll watch DC Batman animated things. I like almost all of them. Even
the 90s, the animated Batman from 90s,
He
that
died.
was one of the greatest TV shows.
yeah, I
Yeah.
never watched it really, but I know everybody loves that one.
Yeah, that guy, the guy who did that, he passed away just recently.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was Luke Skywalker, or he was the
No.
Joker.
No, he was the guy who did all the animated Batman voices for a long time, and he also did a lot of the video games. He was like,
To answer X Adam 1, he was asking about the new King Kong, and apparently it may be April, I think.
Kevin
So-
Conroy. That's who that was.
Yeah. So it's supposed to the new Godzilla versus King Kong, the new Empire. Looks like
The
maybe
last one, they're
April.
friends, right? Was the last one King Kong and Godzilla against Mechagodzilla?
Yeah, I didn't like that Mechagodzilla. It was too complex. I don't like that. That's the same problem I had with the Transformer movies. Is the machinery was way too complex. There's too many little pieces.
Oh, you mean looking at it, but not the. You're okay with the part where there's a skull with tubes going into it, and that makes
not
the
really.
robot with radio waves or something operate.
really.
Then the things also come back to life because it's skull or something, or is it brain alive too? I forget, but it got pretty weird.
No, I didn't like
What
that
is-
part.
What is A24 Civil War? I don't like the idea of a human being involved in Mechagodzilla. I like the well. I think there's a space Godzilla. I was just watching Godzilla movies
Yeah,
a week ago or
He's got-
something, and I was looking it up.
big bumps and he travels like a comet.
So I'm okay with Mechagodzilla being maybe automated, like AI or something. Like, hey, we built this robot, but now it's its own thing. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think there should be somebody sitting in its head. That's dumb.
Well, at one point there was
In the real one,
in the movies, like the aliens were controlling Mechagodzilla or something like that.
I think they controlled it, but they basically like told him what to do, and then eventually he was like, "I'm just going to do what I want." It wasn't like they were telling his left foot to go left, you know, and his right foot to go right. They were just telling him like, "Go get Godzilla," and he was kind of automated. But I can't remember. It's been a while. The first one's kind of hard to watch. You have to watch it and read everything, right?
Yeah, I think A24 is a studio. They have a movie called Civil War, which I haven't heard about it.
Oh, like a real Civil War, not like a Civil War like Marvel Comics or whatever.
Yeah, they're like a modern day Civil War.
An upcoming dystopian action film. Kirsten Dunst. I don't know anybody else in it. Oh no, the guy from The Office. No,
Nick Offerman. Yeah, he's a little bit anti-gun.
he's super anti-gun.
Yeah.
So he'll probably be in there being a Yahoo with like a gun.
He's a good
Joe,
woodworker.
Bang, bang, bang. I hate
he was
his
you.
talking
own-
about that Civil Summer.
Nick Offerman has his own woodworking shop.
Surprise, surprise! The government has a lot of things.
It says March 14th and scheduled to be released April 12th.
Oh boy, can't wait.
The separatist Western forces led by Texas and California? How does that happen?
Yeah,
When
I
did
don't.
Texas and
I don't.
California go, you know what? Let's work together to do something.
Yeah, I don't see California values and Texan values aligning that well.
Well, maybe enough
about
Californians moved to Texas, and
Yeah, they got all mixed together, and us in
No,
Arizona. and
no, I
Mexico
don't
were
think
just
that will
like, you know,
work.
we're cool with this.
they
We're just
shifted the politics.
we'll be all in the middle of this whole thing. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll watch it.
That's
because
why I
I'm
say that
curious
movie is
about
ridiculous.
that.
I don't think Texans and Californians can get along like that
And then
because Texans can't put up with too many pronouns. I'm telling you.
the
It's fiction, right? Right, Strike? We just went from comic books to.
no, but it
it's
says
fiction.
a dystopian action film, like blah blah blah, the future.
It's
or whatever.
fiction, yes, but the problem is it's unrealistic fiction. It's fiction with the absence of thought.
Hold on, it says describe the film as being a companion piece to Men, and it said so. Men is a movie, a 2002 British folk horror film. You ever heard of that?
Nah.
It
Nope.
stars somebody who's a widowed woman who travels on a holiday to a countryside village, but becomes disturbed and tormented by the strange men in the village, all portrayed by one guy. The film was released, so what the hell? This is a companion piece, and it's set at an intermediate point in the future, just far enough ahead for me to add conceit, whatever that means, and serves as a sci-fi allegory to our currently polarized predicament. So it's some kind of art piece, not a portrayal of the future as much as an art piece, I guess. Is that the way to
So
say it?
that just sounds like over-analysis. Like before you see it, that just sounds like over-analysis. There's going to be something that's, somebody that's doing that sort of like, I'm trying to be academic about this and, find what the deeper meanings are in it.
I'm reading Wikipedia.
I've lost
for what
interest.
it's worth. It says it
Really?
costs $50 million. So where does that put it in movies? Is that a lot or is that not very much?
It's not.
Is that like shitty movie then?
It's kind of middle.
Okay.
I just watched the trailer.
Made for TV movie kind of shit?
Little bit.
Like a Hallmark movie?
No, I think a Hallmark movie may have more rewatch value.
I'm never going to get married. What? Civil War happened and that cute militant is single? Maybe I will stay for the Civil War. I might go back to the big city and go back.
Here she's talking about chairs against the wall, and she's also yelling Wolverines. You might have a chance.
That's how you know it's a fed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'll watch it. I mean, because it's not going to cost anything to watch it, but except for some time. But the same thing, if it starts being dumb, I'll turn it off. Is Frost frozen?
No, he's thinking real hard.
I'm frozen. Oh, okay. He was frozen.
He's frozen, yes.
I'm over here doing a bunch of bills, so it's like I got too many tabs open in front of me.
Yeah.
You slid over to the host spot there. Nice, Jack. What you got?
Anybody use the Twitter at all anymore? these days?
Oh, I'm not the host.
Nope.
It does not say I have host privileges.
You're top left. You may as well be, man. That's the position. You're in the pole position, man. Rocket. No,
Okay.
I don't do the Twitter X thing. I
Okay,
know that
so-
like there's some people are doing the. Hold on. I know that some people are doing the transition too, but I was never really an adopter. That didn't really publish there at all. What do you have next, right?
Okay, we're gonna do a bracket.
Flash bracket.
No,
Piss him off. We got to hook back up to him by the time he gets back, and then he has to come on.
I can't. do that.
Renegade bracket chat.
Renegade brackets. Yes.
Will Louisiana be state number 28? Looks like their House and Senate have passed it, and it's now going to the, what do they call that person? The governor.
Governor. Yeah.
Now you have a governor that will sign it, it says. So looks like Louisiana is about to be state number 28. Long time coming.
That would be awesome. I know nothing about Louisiana politics. Do you know anything about that
It's
governor?
It's about as
Louisiana.
bad as South Carolina politics. I can tell you that right now. I went.
It'll go into effect on July 4th, for what it's worth.
Oh, wow. Nice touch. Has any other state done that? I mean, I know historically they might not have been anxious.
I don't know if they
towards that,
did
and now
that
there's much more
intentionally.
attention.
But no, just from doing the calendars and stuff, the first of the month will be different, but the first of the month is just when a lot of stuff happens. So like August and July, I know July, I think August, maybe it was September. There's a couple of months where it's just like, for whatever reason, that's the month that state decided to do it. But if you go back and look at, if you've ever done like a project in school at the states or anything, there's a whole bunch of states that came on board at the exact same time. So I think that might be part of it. If they came on board on, August 1st of whatever, blah, 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 then they probably make all their laws come into effect on August 1st or something like that. I guess I don't know. But there's definitely places where, or there's dates where, this is the anniversary of 19 different things, but all different years. They just all happen to take effect on that first day of the month. So, anybody follow the bump stock case?
I fell out, man. Give me an update. What's up?
I watched a little bit of it today.
Sotomayor, whatever, asked why someone needs to fire 400 to 700 rounds with or without arthritis. So it shows to some people the take is that she doesn't understand the operation of something. So I don't know. From my understanding, they'll do this part in front of everybody where they have this initial discussion or whatever with the lawyers or whatever's happening, and everybody's watching it, and then they'll go do their own thing. No one's allowed to see or hear or record. It'll never go public other than when after the fact when if they decide to talk about it or something like that. So all I'm saying is I don't think I've heard very good reaction to it.
I don't think it's going to go through.
G, can you nail down the quote? I think you were kind of generalizing, and I'm not saying that was a bad thing, but I'd like to know like exactly what she said, so that because what was occurring to me there
I'm
is
just
like
reading X, and I'm just reading that Four Boxes Diner guy's post, so I don't even have
I
a
got
link to the actual thing. I'm just summarizing what he says, which is a summary as to what she said. But I'm remembering, I read into something today. Might have been live. It must have been somebody's chat, and they were talking about it. But they were saying, maybe it was like Toby who was doing his show live. So I usually don't watch anything unless it's live, at least anything that's current like this. So,
Right.
But they were saying something to the effect of the way that she was asking questions indicated that she's got no fucking clue how a gun works, and that's scary since she's about to go away from any input. Now, they don't talk about what happens in there, but I don't know if that means they're not allowed to open up a computer and look. I mean, it's an open book test, I believe. So hopefully one of the other judges will be able to say, listen, dumbass, if somebody wants to shoot 500 rounds because it's therapeutic to them, maybe we indoctrinated them to shooting belts of ammo, and this is something that calms them down. Just because it's not okay for, it's not something you want to do to calm down. Maybe some people like to drive around in a convertible or a motorcycle just because you don't want to. You don't get to tell them what calms them down. If somebody gives her that, or like, shooting something with a belt fed is super therapeutic. There's a certain amount of, just like any machine, to be able to keep a machine running for, a full 9 yards of a belt. That's an achievement. It's something that you strive to in your service and in your position, your job, in your role in the squad. So it's something that people are going to want to do to calm themselves down or to have some fun and to challenge themselves off time. Like, you can't tell people what an amount of fun they're allowed to have. Like, how fast can a fast car go? You know what I mean? Like, how long can your fishing line be? Like, what else are you going to nanny about how much stuff they can do? So that just shows her ignorance there. But I guess she said some other stuff about, like, how does a gun operate, or how does a shoulder stock? I don't know, just like just conflating how terms she's heard, not understanding what any of them mean. And that's, I guess, why some people are saying, we're doomed. So whoever I was listening to wasn't saying that, but I'm sure that there's people out there who are taking it that way.
I am
what I was
back.
going to riff on there is that,
you're
how
back.
was your trip?
I'm hotspotting off my phone, so hopefully it'll
What do you got, rain up there?
hang
or
on for a little bit longer.
Bad internet?
It's been raining all day, so somebody might have hit a pole.
Oh, that's too bad. I had a bracket ready to go.
We almost had a renegade bracket.
Yeah, we almost had a renegade bracket. So,
Has anybody ever done a bracket of all the different types of chocolate in some kind of a chocolate assortment?
No, but the creams are going to lose early, and caramels are going to be somewhere near the top. Nuts are going to be a divisive issue, and I put them following in places, positions 3 and 4 with some kind of wild dark horse candidate. That's what I meant to say there. Like, I don't know, those cherry-filled cream, whatever things that somebody might get in second place because of late voting in the poll. I don't know. Not a bad idea, eh?
It would need to be visual, I think.
Oh, like which swirl on the top actually represents which for like Russell Stover and whatnot. They have to be able to translate the code.
Right? Yeah, I've seen something like that before that they tell you, but then some of them don't tell you, or if they do, they tell you at the store, and whoever put it together knows, but nobody else does because they didn't put it in the lid or whatever.
True.
How about donuts? I think we have done donuts before in one of Matt's chats.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that where the I hate sprinkles came out of?
No,
Well, no, it could have for sure. I mean, at least it came up in that, but I don't know.
he hates sprinkles for an entirely different reason.
What? What reason?
He doesn't taste. Matt doesn't get the taste of sprinkles.
Well, yeah, but Foss is saying, did that first come to light when we had a bracket about donuts? And I'm saying it could have. Like,
No. It first came to light when someone mentioned a sprinkled donut in front of him.
well, no shit. But was that during a donut bracket?
It was during a Matt chat.
All right.
It was a long time ago. On a chat far, far away. So, DJ, are you getting ready for the new Planet of the Apes movie right there?
Little pre-celebration. That's never been a bad thing in my book, kind of deal, unless it's like things like political victories or Super Bowl champions, or I don't know who got number one this week. I don't know. No, it's just kind of retro. Was on that retro kick.
Ah.
You know, pretty much from the original Planet of the Apes movies, each consecutive movie made more than the previous one, but the studio kept cutting the budget. That's why the first one looks as good as it does, and then as it progresses along, you know, like the background apes will be just masks instead of the prosthetics.
Yep.
Because I can't remember if that was. I don't remember what studio did Planet of the Apes. Because it might have been. I might be mixing up things, but when Dr. Dolittle came out, it was a flop and almost killed the studio, which made the studio nervous, and they cut the budget on the Planet of the Apes movies.
No, I didn't know that.
I think
And
that's
the
what it
Doctor
was.
Dolittle movie is good, man. I love
I
that
liked
movie.
it.
Oh, yeah.
We had the record, and we would watch it on TV and play the record at the same time.
What happens there?
Nice.
Is it like the same soundtrack?
Yeah.
Or is it like you play a song and then pause it and then play a song and pause it and play a song?
I don't remember. That's probably the way it was, but I don't remember because that was, would have been early to mid 70s.
My favorite Planet of the Apes movie was the one where they had the atomic bomb in it.
Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Had Charlton Heston.
I don't know. The Planet of the Apes, and then Escape from Planet of the Apes. Well, Heston wasn't. He was basically just made a cameo.
Yeah.
For Beneath the Planet of the Apes. Battle for the Planet of the Apes. I think those are the three that I like. I kind of want to read the book it's based on, Monkey Planet, but it's a French book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never thought about where it came from.
You're gonna have to brush up on your lay French.
I failed 2 years of French in high school.
What, you couldn't get far enough to say parlez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
C'est soir.
Voulez-vous, man.
Just
Come
we-
on. Voulez-vous.
You know, I'm not good at French either. I never even took French. Yeah, it's like
French
parlez-vous coucher
French
he's
avec
not into
moi?
Lady Marmalade.
For French fries. Crepes.
Freedom fries.
French bread.
Yeah, French
Freedom
bread.
fries. That's been a while now. The freedom
French
fries.
toast.
I like French
Now we're
toast.
having a food
and I like
bracket.
I could eat
crepes.
it.
it's pronounced. I can't roll my R's, but it's pronounced crap.
Crepes. Yeah. That came out more like craps, man. Honest.
Well,
But they can't authentically be crepes unless they're from the crepe region of France.
otherwise, it's sparkling pancakes.
Yeah, they're just regular sparkling.
I
And remember,
I went to a
you can't call it a Belgian waffle unless it comes from Belgium.
I went to a crepe joint in Leavenworth, Washington, and the crepes were good, but they put the filling on the outside. They folded them in kind of a triangle and then put it on top. I don't think I like that. They should be rolled up in the middle.
Well, you're here in the United States, so there's going to be people making a lot of things wrong.
I saw a crepe maker on probably on Instagram, I think, but it had a rotating drum, so it would kind of squirt the batter as the drum went around. It fried it and then kind of popped up the other side. I like that idea more than the spread it out on the flat iron kind.
That would be groovy. Flat walk spinning. So for a minute there, I thought we were going to get into a French food bracket.
Oh, he said no brackets, so we're not getting any French
Well,
food brackets. No, I had a gun bracket, ready to go, but he came back soon. So
I don't know. Has anybody ever done a gun bracket, man?
we've done a couple.
Yeah.
I don't know. My internet dropping kind of. I don't have a clue anything I was going to talk about.
did
I
you
am
even
lost.
know
That's a
what you were going to talk
distraction
about?
there.
Probably not.
Hmm.
But I don't remember if I remembered what I was going to talk about.
Well, I don't remember either. So
I don't remember. I don't recall. I've got no memory of anything at
I
all.
remember when I lost my mind.
I wonder.
well, no. The only thing I missed
Nice.
is my mind.
Freaking dog ate half of my cheese off of this freaking salad. Damn it.
Oh,
Yeah. Now G Webs has to eat bacon instead. Oh no.
Anybody down
Ate
for
the
a
cheese and left you the healthy.
salad?
But bacon and cheese, that's a dynamite combo there, man.
Blue cheese, feta cheese, bacon, and spinach. And tiny fork.
Speaking of which,
94.
G Webs' favorite pancakes are bacon pancakes.
Oh, no, the chocolate chip pancakes. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Making bacon pancakes. We lose Foss again?
no, I'm still here. It's kind of everything's roboting for me, but I'm
Is
still
the
here.
world going around?
I made blueberry pancakes Monday.
Yum.
Fresh or frozen?
Frozen blueberries.
You put just the blueberries in there, or you put the juice in there so that they're blue?
Just
pancakes turn blue.
put the blueberries in there and then mix them up.
I mean, the juice with the blueberries also.
Yeah. Well, you get a little bit of juice when you stir in because it jostles your berries.
Jostles your berry. You gotta make them spread out a little bit. You get that halo effect.
On that note, I'm going to bed. Good night.
Which note was
What
that?
was nice
Was
to
it
see?
an
Good chatting with you. Thanks for jumping in.
A? D?
Don't be a stranger.
Shall not be infringed.
Raw. Oh my. Okay, so like I'm looking at the StreamYard screen. We've got a mouse, a dog, and a frog. It's actually a toad.
X Adam One said Blueberry, Batman, Godzilla. This chat's all over the place. That's kind of the way my mind works.
If we made this into an AI thing, that's not Slowpoke? Who is that?
I can't remember which name he is. Somebody in the text chat.
All he ever did was watch Speedy Gonzalez do shit, right? Or did
No,
he do
different one. This is from Tijuana Toads. It's from a different series.
Oh, is it something else?
Mhm.
Then I don't know what that one is. Does he have a gun?
Nope. It's just two toads that hop around. They both have sombreros.
Oh, I think I might remember that. That was with
That blue aardvark. Or anteater, rather.
yeah, who made all them? Wasn't Casper and all that?
I don't remember which production house did
Pink
it.
Panther? It was with Pink Panther. I think it was with Pink Panther.
The anteater guy definitely was. Yeah, I don't recall which.
The United Artists.
Is that who made Pink Panther?
I think so. Oh, well, Mr. DJ,
Mhm.
is there anything you'd like to plug?
Oh yeah, we're coming up on the weekend, and besides hoping that everybody has a safe and wonderful one, I'd like everybody to check out on the A Great Start Shooting School channel, Brooke Genie hosting a conversation about mental health awareness and suicide and violence prevention. Check that out. Hillbilly Up, who's out in the text chat, or was, has a show that follows not too long after. Check that out as well. And early on Sunday evenings on the She Fires channel, there's a fireside chat. Stop by. Sometimes it's a good one. It's always a good time to hang out, though. So let's see everybody else again. Be safe, have fun, carry your guns, and rock on.
G-Webs, is there anything you want to plug?
Probably Barry Jocelyn. It's a good idea. Get him Jocelyn once in a while.
That's a good release.
Get him out, Jocelyn, on occasion. Like about half an hour.
So if you like 2A related stickers, patches, need help with web design, logo design, if you need help with designing a YouTube logo, G-Webs can help you out at gearwebsites.com. X Adam One's asking, what am I doing to celebrate 29th of February? Pretty much you're looking at it.
Extra day of work.
Yep. I'm going to get paid. Oh, he's doing a 2011. I should get my 2011 parts for my Prodigy. Still need to order some for the Apollo 11. Oh, so no overnight this weekend. Maybe a bracket on Sunday. 8 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Pacific. What did we say we were going to do?
I thought you said cars, but
Cars.
Mm.
Yeah. Classic cars. Not absolutely guaranteed, but maybe. I'll say maybe. So keep an eye on your mail, see if you get the notice. And so the next chat will be next Wednesday. Overnight. No, mouse party. Wednesday nights are mouse parties. But I just want to say thank you to those that were out there in the live chat participating. It makes it fun for us to have people interacting with us out there. And if you were watching, didn't say anything, I appreciate you too, but don't be afraid to speak up. And other than that,
I found them toads. Took a while. What did you call them, DJ?
Tijuana Toads.
Yeah, that's what they're called. I thought you were just calling them that, but that's the name of the cartoon.
So I hope everybody has a good rest of the night. And I gotta find the outro there. There we go. And go do something good.